Welcome to In My Haunted Era. I'm Jen.
I'm Em.
And let's talk about spooky shit.
Podcast where we talk about all things paranormal and witchy and spooky and completely unexplained.
In today's episode, I'm talking about Julia. Hold on. I'm going to have to cut this part out. Bitch, just
or
open.
Not.
I'm talking about Julie Buccola Petta, a.k.a. the Italian Bride.
What? And I am talking about the Driskill Hotel in Austin, Texas.
Oh, I'm so excited.
What?
I want to go there.
Same.
Let's take a pod trip.
Okay.
We're going to take a pod trip.
I'm down.
We're adding this to our road trip list.
The Driskill Hotel in Austin,
Done.
Texas.
Check. Okay, how are you? What's going on with you? Any new updates?
I do have an update. I got a new job. I know we briefly talked about my job and how sometimes it kind of made me sad. So I got a new one, everybody.
I'm so excited. When do you start?
July 8th. So
Shut the fuck up. I got a new job and I start on July 8th.
Stop it now. What's your new job?
I'm going to be well, no, let me finish talking about yours.
Okay.
I want to hear about yours first.
Okay.
But
so,
that's crazy.
That is really crazy.
I know.
Oh my God. Or is this meant to be?
I know.
So yeah, I was working at a talent agency with like actors and models and all that. And I don't think it was great for my mental health. Mostly because I was like helping other people achieve their dreams and I was not achieving mine. So now I am going to work for a city. I'm not going to tell you what city because it's 2 miles from my house.
Let's not geolocate ourselves.
But yeah, I'm going to be working in their, it's technically their HR department, but it's called something fun and nerdy, and I love it. And I'm going to be helping, what am I doing? I don't even know what my new job is. I'm going to be, planning employee events.
That's so exciting.
Mostly fun stuff. Yeah, like bring your dog to work day.
I love that. You have the best job.
Hopefully.
That is so fun.
Hopefully. Yeah, I know. I was like, I feel like I have like the fun bullshit job where it's like, hey, we're going to have a chili cook-off next week, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's the best job to have because that's the most fun part of work is those little events. Sometimes they're lame, but I know you won't make them lame.
I hope not. But also, I'm so dorky. Like the lame is like the what's fun for me.
You have to accept the cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
The sooner you accept the cringe, the more fun you have.
You know how many dress-up days I'm going to have implemented?
I think you should have a Chapel Roan lookalike contest day. Everybody, drag queens.
I love it.
Drag Queen Day. Drag Queen Day.
I would love a drag queen. And then the drag queens can read to us. I love it. I'm here for that.
I'm here for that. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. That's my update. And you have a similar update.
Yeah, I got a new job too.
You start July 8th.
I start July 8th.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm going to a new hospital and I'll be working as an ECMO specialist, which we won't get into all of what that is, but basically it stands for extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. It is like the highest level of life support you could be on.
Is it on Grey's Anatomy?
I don't know if they get into ECMO and Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's like 1,000 seasons of that show.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure it's on Grey's
It's very
Anatomy.
possible. But so we put people on whose hearts ain't working, lungs ain't working, and this machine can act as your heart or lungs. It can like oxygenate your blood and then pump it back out to you, depending on what kind of mode we're on. And so my job will be to help put the patients on, and sometimes we'll travel to go get them, like at other hospitals, and then we'll bring them back to our hospital to manage their care. And then we will...
It sounds very...
How do I describe it?
Important.
It
sounds
is
revolutionary for medicine.
It honestly, it's kind of a new thing too, because I mean, they've been doing this for NICU babies, like, babies who are born too early or babies who have congenital heart malformations. They've been doing that for decades, but it just kind of in the last 10 years or so started becoming really popular in adults or adapted to adults and kind of, what's the word? Like, it's been adapted to adults and just kind of, we've been doing research and making it more available for more people.
So do a lot of hospitals have this, or is this something that's special? Oh, okay.
Bigger hospitals might have it. So in DFW, most of the main hospitals have it.
Okay.
Here in Dallas. But this the hospital I'm going to, they're kind of.
If you hear panting, it's
so
not
sorry.
it's not Emily.
She just loves ECMO. Just loves it.
I'm so into it.
Just fucking loves it. So
Give
my
me more
dog is
ECMO.
just thirsty for attention. But yeah. So what was the question?
Oh, I asked if it was something that like a lot of hospitals have, or
Oh yeah, so most hospitals or the big hospitals in DFW have some kind of program at this point.
That's
I think
good.
this system is kind of the last system to really like get on board. I mean, they're doing it now already, but we're expanding the program and making it bigger and better. So
That's
I get to
great.
be on, like, a bunch of us are starting at the same time, and we're kind of revamping the program and kind of starting over. So I'm excited to be a part of that team.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
Look at us.
I know. Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
That's so cool.
I know. So it's a good start to our summer.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully, we'll do it. We'll check back in.
Yeah, we'll check back in. By the time this is
This is live,
launched
or-
and
yeah,
live,
launched.
and by the time if you're hearing this right now, we've already started our jobs.
And hopefully, we're having the time of
And
our
hopefully we're
lives.
having a great time.
But if not,
You'll find out in
tune in
August.
next week.
I'm sure by the time we get there, it'll be August, and
I'll be looking for another job.
Yeah. I know I've been at my current job 6 months. Like, I just started this in November and never planned to leave, and then this kind of just fell in my lap, and it was an
Yeah.
opportunity with the money was a big increase, so there's no way I could say no to that.
Exactly.
So I feel bad for like bouncing after only 6 months, but I think you have to do what is right for your family and that bank
Absolutely.
account, baby.
Yes. No, 100%. I feel like, I mean, I don't believe in that whole like job hopping, culture or whatever. Like, I don't think that that's a bad thing. I
Yeah.
think if you find a place that you're not comfy
Yeah.
in, find one that you are comfy
And then
in.
a lot of times you find opportunities. You get opportunities from one place. Like, you meet people and
Yeah.
then they go somewhere and they're like, hey, you should come here too. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll come there. And then it's just like a great stepping stone to somewhere else. So
Yeah.
it's like, why meet people in your industry if you're not going to use that as not leverage, but use that to gain more experience
yeah, to
and
grow.
do something new.
Yeah. So look at us.
Look at us. Okay, so let's get to the spooky shit. Oh, wait. What's our Spotify day list? What was your day list?
Oh. I thought I wasn't going to have my phone because I had to set my husband up with YouTube.
He's just listening to us.
So now he's listening.
His friend isn't here.
Day list is neo soul modern R&B Monday evening.
What was it?
Neo soul modern R&B Monday evening. You listened to nature sounds and iconic on Mondays in the evening. What? But then the first thing is Sweet Honey Buckin', Beyonce. So I'm like,
Oh
that's
my
nature sounds.
gosh. That is so funny. I like it. Okay, I'm going to tell you the one that was this morning and the one that's now.
Okay.
And it's scary how accurate they are.
Okay.
And you'll see why. Okay, so this morning I was cleaning my house because it was a mess. And my day list was titled, Clean Girl, Do It for the Plot, Monday Afternoon.
I love that.
And my songs were Espresso by Sabrina
yes.
Carpenter, Too Sweet by Hosier, and Good Luck Babe by Chapel Roan.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. That's a good start.
Look at what it is now.
Oh, God.
Sad Girl, Supernatural Evening.
I love this.
I know. I was like, Supernatural? That's fucking what we're doing.
What? Mine's weird.
But mine are normally weird. This is the only time they've ever been accurate.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think they're supposed to be accurate, but at all. No one ever said that they were ever supposed to be
I
accurate.
had, like, it girl, like, clean aesthetic. And I was like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
hungover and sad.
Yeah,
so-
I'm like the opposite of how I feel. Yeah, mine are normally just wild, and these actually were in the neighborhood of the vibe.
Those are really good.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know. My first song is So High School by Taylor Swift.
I love that song.
So good. So good. Okay. All right. Well, do you want to go first?
Sure, I would love to. All right. I have many a notes on the Driskill Hotel because we're going to get into the history of it and how it was built and founded. Okay, so the Driskill Hotel is an iconic landmark in Austin, Texas. It is considered the most haunted hotel in Texas, and some might say in all of North America.
What?
Yes, it has.
I love these claims that are
this
made.
is the scariest thing. Yeah,
because everywhere makes that.
I know.
But I believe it every time.
I'm like, yeah, I'm
like,
ready.
if you say so.
All right. So the Driskill Hotel was built by Colonel Jesse Driskill, who was born in 1824 in Tennessee and moved to Texas from Missouri. Somehow he got to Missouri in the middle of his life. In 1849 because he was wealthy as hell. All right, he got a lot of money, not by doing something great. He supplied beef to the Confederate Army throughout the Civil War. So he was literally feeding the Confederate soldiers in the Civil War. But after that, he had so much money, he wanted to diversify and began constructing a hotel in Austin. Because Austin was up and coming and he just thought it was a great place to be. So construction began in 1885. So in 1884, he purchased the land on 6th Street. The hotel still stands today for $7,500.
Was that adjusted to inflation?
That's a good question.
You got it.
Okay,
we're looking it up.
Okay, so he bought it originally 1884 for $7,500. And this was just the land.
But this only goes back to 1930. Okay, hold on. There's a better website. Hold, please.
I do this at work.
Oh, wait, this is only 1913. Oh, my God. You couldn't even calculate that far. Let me see. Yeah, okay, well, never mind.
It's probably a shit ton of money.
Ignore this detour.
That's okay.
So it was only $7,000. Wow.
Yeah.
That's probably like $5.
Something crazy. Yeah, that's just for the land on 6th Street in Austin. And construction was pretty quick. It was only like 2 years, and the grand opening was December 20th, 1886. 2 years constructing this hotel. And the hotel is supposed to be one of the finest hotels in the region. Even then, it had columned entrances, high arched windows, and decorative stonework. And I'm like, in 2 years? How many people did they have working on this thing? They didn't have a lot about the builders or anything. But yeah, it had all of these furnishings and marble floors, stained glass everywhere. So I was like, okay, 2 years, they did a really good job. So it opened December 20th, 1886. And on the 1st of January, 1887, so just 1 month later, Governor Sue Ross held the inaugural ball there. And fun fact, every Texas governor has held the inaugural ball.
Really?
At the Driskill Hotel
really?
since then. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that.
Okay, so then things kind of take a turn. In May 1887, less than a year from opening, Jesse Driskill had to close the hotel because he couldn't afford to operate it anymore.
What?
Yeah, there was a harsh winter and a drought that killed his entire herd of cattle. So the man didn't have any more beef.
Oh, snap.
Where's the beef?
Where's
Dead.
the beef?
Dead. Plus, a bunch of his staff were hired by the Beach Hotel in Galveston, so he was just fucked. He didn't have a staff. He didn't have any money, so he's just like, I gotta close. And then, so he sold the hotel in 1808 to his brother-in-law, Jim Doc
Wait, 1808?
Day. Did I say 1808? Oh, 18. Oh my God. Hold on. It's 80. It's 88. Let me retake that.
There's 8.
So Driskill sold the hotel in 1888 to his brother-in-law, Jim Doc Day. Golly, who reopened in that same year, January 1888. So that's crazy. He was like, I can't afford this anymore. Brother-in-law, you take it over. And he's like, bet, and opened it just right back up.
Say less.
So, but so the Driskill hotels had a ton of different owners. So after Jesse Driskill sold it to his brother-in-law did some updates, but then he sold it to George Littlefield, and George Littlefield was responsible for doing the landmarks like Littlefield House and the Austin National Bank, which is now a TV studio in Austin, KTBC. So he bought the Driskill Hotel from Jim Doc Day in 1895 for $106,000. $106,000.
You got it.
And then he vowed that it would never close again. That's what he said. George Littlefield was like, it'll never close again. And he spent $60,000 in renovations, including 28 new bathrooms. Yeah. But he still sold it at a loss of $25,000 to a banker in 1903. So he made all of these luxurious updates and then still...
out of his own pocket, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just kind of crazy how many different people had a say in how this was built. And I also wonder if that, I don't know, kind of doomed it from the start.
Yeah, right.
Or it just had bad luck.
Yeah, it didn't start off positively business-wise.
Yeah.
So.
But, the Driskill Hotel, like I said, is still around, and it's a central location for political events, social gatherings, and it's still, again, one of the most prominent, beautiful hotels in Texas, if not the whole country. Fun facts. Lyndon B. Johnson, who was our 36th president of the United States, had his first date with Lady Bird Johnson at the Driskill in 1934.
Oh.
And it also served as the headquarters for his election night in 1964.
Wow.
I know. I did a lot of stuff. And again, it went through a lot of renovations, but there are many ghost stories related to this hotel. And one of them is actually Jesse Driskill himself. They believe that Colonel Jesse Driskill, they call him the founder's spirit, haunts the hotel. And guests and staff have reported smelling cigar smoke because he was an avid cigar smoker.
I bet he was.
But there's no smoking on property. So they'll get these whiffs of cigar smoke, and he's supposed to be nearby.
Ooh.
And some people believe to have seen him, like, smoking a cigar. His apparition has been spotted, particularly in the lobby and in the ballroom.
Okay.
And it's like kind of a comforting thing. It's like, because he's not malicious.
Yeah.
And they say, like, a lot of the staff just say he seems to be watching over his
Yeah.
beloved hotel. And I'm
That
like,
makes sense.
bro, you owned it for like less than a
Yeah.
year.
You owned it for a hot minute.
Move on.
Yeah.
So he's still kind of hanging around. And there is, okay, this one's sad. This one is the young girl. They just see a young girl, the ghost of Samantha Houston. She was the 4-year-old daughter of a U.S. senator, and in 1887, she was playing with a ball when she fell down the grand staircase and tragically died on property.
That's so sad.
I know, 4 years old. Again, this ghost is not malicious at all. Guests have said they've seen her playing with the ball and they hear giggling down the hallways, but they do feel like an eerie presence near the grand staircase. And there's a portrait of her that hangs in the hotel. So it's like, not very cool.
Yeah. It's kind of creepy.
But the part that got me was guests have said that their kids have reported playing with a young girl named Samantha. And they'll like be roaming the halls and they're like, I was just playing with my friend Samantha, and there's no one there. So she, poor thing, just wants to play.
I know. I can't decide if I would shit my pants or if I would be excited that my kids finally have seen a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Because I ask them all the time if they see ghosts, and they don't, and I find myself being disappointed. I don't know what I want for
damn
them.
it.
Yeah.
Why'd I have you?
I know. I'm like, you haven't shown any evidence of a past life so far.
You're
almost out of the window. You have not told me about any ghosts. So,
well, let's take them to the Driskill Hotel and see if they play with Samantha.
Oh gosh, we should.
Yeah. Again, this is a haunted hotel. There's multiple stories. There's room 525. This one kind of freaked me out a little bit because it's infamous for its paranormal activity, specifically room 525. And they've had to close that room down several times because
it was just
of spooky shit happening in there. And what's crazy is this is a legend, but I truly believe it, that there were 2 brides separated by years, years, like decades between, that brides the night before their wedding committed suicide in room 525 because of a broken engagement. Same room, decades apart, both the brides.
What are the odds?
I don't know, but people have said that like the room itself is what's dooming these marriages and dooming these brides. But the room, I told you, has been having, like, they've had to shut down the room because guests reported feeling cold spots, hearing unexplained noises, and seeing apparitions in this room. Not only of brides, but just of like upset women in the room. And I was like, I don't want to stay in that one. And
I was about to say, we should stay in that one. I was like, how do we book that one?
Like, they had to just shut this room off from people because of it.
So
and
crazy.
it's so sad and tragic.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what's supposed to be the happiest day of your life? I should have really put a trigger warning on here. You unalive yourself.
Yeah.
Right before, because, oh my gosh. But anyway, those poor women.
That's so sad. And I feel like waking up to a ghost sobbing in the room is probably one of the most unsettling types of encounters I can imagine.
I mean, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
The vibes are not great.
No. So room 525, haunted as hell. So I mentioned earlier that there was a portrait. Sorry, Esty the dog has made another appearance. A portrait of Samantha Houston, the 4-year-old who passed. And the portrait itself is haunted.
What?
This little girl not only haunts the hotel, but her portrait haunts the hallways too.
Oh my gosh.
So she's holding flowers, and you can go see this. It's like for everyone to go see.
Yeah.
She's holding flowers in this portrait. I think it's like above a staircase or in a hallway.
That would be terrible if it was above a staircase, though.
It would.
That she died.
Like, oh, fuck you. This is, you can overlook
It's like a
where
little
you died.
insensitive, right?
I know. But there's a lot of strange things that happen around it. Guests have reported feeling just nervous and uneasy while looking at the painting. I'm like, bitch, why are you looking at it?
We're going to go look at it.
I know. I'm going to go look at it. But then they say that it's like the girl's expression will change when they're looking at it. And like, so like that makes them uneasy. But then they also just get this overwhelming feeling of like, of dread or anxiousness. Yeah. And they're just like, oh my God. But so her expression changes. And they have reported that her eyes will follow you.
Stop.
Yes. So
did you ever play those like Nancy Drew computer games when you were younger?
No.
Okay, there were some Nancy Drew computer games. They had different stories. But one of them was like, I think it was like a house or a theater or something, because I feel like there was a stage area. But basically, I don't know what you were trying to solve, a murder maybe? But it was probably. Like, the vibe was that it was haunted, but it probably wasn't haunted. It was somebody haunting it, like somebody who didn't want you to find out what they've done or whatever, something like that. I could be totally wrong, but this is just what I'm grasping at from my past. But one of the main things I remember about this game is you'd walk into the foyer and there were these paintings on the wall with people, and the eyes would move if you looked at them. And that was so scary to me as a kid. Like, so scary. I wouldn't play that game so bad right now.
All I can think about is my husband and I are Disney adults, and we love the Haunted Mansion, and they have the two busts that, like, I don't know how this technology works. I think it's pretty simple, probably, but like the busts will watch you when you walk by.
That's so creepy.
And I love that part. It's not even like the ride; it's the cue to the ride. But I love that so much. So,
that's so cool.
I don't know. Maybe I'd be really into this portrait of a little girl. Who knows? I'm not done. This hotel's fucked. There is a Victorian lady, a lady in white, if you will, who is dressed in Victorian era clothing. And she is often seen wandering the corridors of the hotel. The people say that she's wearing a long white gown. She's believed to be one of the many guests from the past who never left. So I'm wondering if this Victorian lady is one of the brides.
Oh, yeah.
The decades when the brides unalive themselves was not disclosed in any of my like research. But, I mean, if it was a Victorian era lady...
Yeah.
And then, like, decades later, if it was, like...
Yeah, it would make sense for her to be, like, roaming around.
Yeah. Isn't that so sad?
It's sad.
I'm like, you're just having to relive.
I know.
I mean, I guess you're not living,
I hope it's just, like, a memory. You know, like a memory on repeat. Or, like, something that happened on repeat and not, like, the spirit actually stuck there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sad memory.
Yeah,
but
for
it's
sure.
a beautiful thought.
Like, it was just so, like, impactful that it kind of... like left an imprint on the building.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. They have a ghost cowboy. There is a suite called the Senate Suite. And it's another hotspot for some scary, spooky shit. Guests have reported seeing a cowboy's apparition, hearing footsteps and like spurs from cowboy boots. I'm like, I'm kind of into it.
Okay.
And they experience objects moving on their own. So a lot of people believe that the cowboy is a former guest, or
he's like just moving his shit around in his room.
He's just like fucking around with people. Or some people think that it might be Colonel Driskill.
Okay.
But I'm like, as a cowboy, I don't know.
I mean,
he
I
was
guess
like
he had ranch.
Yeah, could be him.
And the cows. So maybe you wear
that
cowboy
man needs
stuff.
to move on.
He needs to move on. It's time.
He built it, but he didn't run it.
You didn't do anything.
No.
You didn't fulfill your obligations after.
No, not at all. So yeah, all of those ghosts like live in this hotel, but then I mean, there's just like all around people experience noises and unexplained like things moving around, which like that I think would freak me out more than anything. Noises. Okay, I've dealt with that. I like that's fine. Things moving on their own though scares the shit out of me. What kills me too is like staff report a lot of stuff, so like disembodied voices and whispers, footsteps when no one is around, and like I cannot imagine cleaning a room and experiencing. I'd be like, I'm out. I quit. Like, I can't keep doing this.
Either you get used to it or you're done.
Yeah, and I mean like normal stuff too, like lights flickering without explanation. Doors will open and close on their own. The doors kind of freak me out. Cold spots, like in all these different areas of the hotel, but Yeah, so the Driskill Hotel, man, is a hot spot.
We have to go.
For some spooky shit. I would love to go.
And we're staying at 525.
Well, at least we're already married, so.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We're safe.
We're fine. We need to, I don't care how far ahead we have to book that room.
We would love to book room 525. It's like never booked, and they're just like, are you sure?
Are you sure? I'm like, wait.
Do you really want to?
Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, so that's the Driskill Hotel. Yeah. It's got so many different ghosts.
That's so cool.
Which ghost would you like to experience when we go?
The little girl.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I feel like she'd be a little
creepy.
Least, I don't know. That'd be creepy to see a little ghost kid. Yeah. But I also feel like I wouldn't be scared of her. Like, I'd be scared of a depressed bride.
Yeah, just because like there's a lot of emotions, and like it makes it feel more unpredictable in what the behavior is going to be, like what's going to happen. Yeah,
and I would be scared of Jesse Driskill because he was a Confederate 11.
Yeah,
beef
not ideal.
Macon.
Yeah, it's not a good look, bro.
We don't seem to have the same beliefs at all.
No, no, we sure don't. No,
I mean I do love beef.
I do love beef.
I love
we believe in beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you can make me a cheeseburger.
Yeah, like I'm down for that, but like I just don't support the other things that you supported.
And that's how he made all his money.
I know.
And
he made the Driskill, so he did something.
I know.
But
the hotel itself has never closed.
Yeah.
Just like that, like George Littlefield said.
Yeah.
It would never close its doors ever again. It never did. Just one door. Just room
door.
525.
Yeah, just 525.
It was closed for months.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder when they were like, how did they know that it was fine to open it back up, right? It's like they walked by and they're like, stopped hearing the banging and the wailing of the woman. They're like, all right, it's good now.
She is calmed down.
Like, did they get a psychic to come in and be like, the vibe's fine?
That's a good question. I don't know how they determined to reopen it, but they were like, it's fine.
Yeah. Like, maybe we'll just let this room air out a bit.
Maybe they don't call it their bridal suite, but.
Yeah. That's probably what I wouldn't go that far. I'd say, like, if you went to a funeral, this would be a better suite for you.
Yeah, 100%.
The vibes would all be, you could cry together.
Not happy or joyful.
Yeah.
Just pretty sad.
Yeah. Well, damn. We have to go.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go. The first episode I ever listened to of Two Girls, One Ghost was about the Driskill Hotel.
Oh, really?
I don't know how I landed on that one because it wasn't one of their first ones and it wasn't their most recent one at the time, but that's the one I ended up on, and then I started listening to it. But yeah, they did a good job too to cover that, and I think they stayed there.
Oh.
They went to go stay there. Yeah. I don't remember what happened.
Oh, okay.
We should go and record from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Do an episode from there.
Yeah.
And then play a Ouija board.
Okay. A pink one.
Oh yeah, we can make a pink one.
With glitter.
Yeah. Yeah, like a Chapel Roan one.
Yeah.
A Chapel Roan Ouija board!
Oh my gosh, and then we just let her know, hey.
We should make merch that's like Chapel Roan vibe.
Okay.
And it's a Ouija board.
Listen, my aesthetic is like spooky and sparkly.
Yes.
Like I love a ghost that's bedazzled with pink sequins. Like I'm a spooky sparkle girl.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I'm adopting that as well.
All right, let's do
it.
I
love it so much. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the Italian bride.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Brides. There's a theme.
Oh my gosh. An
unplanned
theme. I love it.
Yeah, we never know what the other person's bringing. I think that's kind of fun. But one day, I swear to God, we're going to bring the same thing.
I know. What? Yeah, it's going to happen. I think that maybe we should tell each other our topics.
Probably. We should probably do that from now on.
We should make a little document. We need to make a document. And we could just put our topic. We don't talk about it, but like I won't look up your topic.
No.
But maybe just so we don't
actually. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you don't waste your time.
Did you look at the list, the topic list, or did you look it up on your own to find the Driskill?
Oh, I looked it up on my own.
Okay, because the Driskill is on that list, so I was just wondering.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I knew I kind of wanted to, so I think I might have put the Driskill on there, like, a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Or when we first started, because I knew I wanted to do more research on it.
Yeah, I was like, couldn't remember if I put it on there or if you did, but it doesn't matter. I was just like... One. If we're pulling from the same list, then I feel like we might...
Oh, shit. I forgot about the list, so...
Okay, that's perfect. Good. Okay, so in Hillside, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, is Mount Carmel Cemetery. Well, the cemetery is the final resting place for the bishops and archbishops... Fuck, I knew I was going to fuck this up. The bishops and archbishops. I don't know why saying bishops on its own works. But adding arch to it, my brain cannot compute.
Because you're doing that shape with your mouth 2 times. Archbishop.
Yeah, that's hard. Anyways,
Stephen was trying to mouth it over there, too.
Right? It's hard. Archbishops. It just feels weird, too.
You did. That was
okay,
good.
I said it, but
good.
it felt weird. Mm-hmm. This is another one. The Archdiocese. Okay, I got that one. The bishops and archbishops of the Archdiocese of Chicago and a large collection of well-known gangsters. I'm just going to start this whole fucking sentence over.
Okay, I love it.
While the cemetery is the final resting place for the bishops and archbishops of the Archdiocese of Chicago.
Good.
And a large collection of well-known gangsters such as Al Capone and Dion O'Banion. I don't know who that second person is, do you?
No, I know Al Capone.
But they listed it in several articles. I was like, okay, maybe somebody knows.
What's his name?
Dion O'Banion.
Okay.
Somebody knows him, that's for sure. It's not me, though.
Not me either.
One of the most popular graves in that cemetery is actually that of Julia Buccola Petta, a simple housewife who died in childbirth in 1921 at the age of 29. She is better known as the Italian bride, whose body was found to be perfectly preserved after 6 years in the grave.
What?
Yeah.
How?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Just wait. Also, nobody knows. Anyways. So, Julia Buccola Petta was born on June 6, 1891 in Italy. Her father, George, passed away in 1913, and her mother, Filomena, immigrated from Palermo, Italy, to Chicago with Julia later that year. Her siblings, Joseph, Henry, and Rosalia.
Maybe?
Sure. One of those.
Maybe.
They were already settled in the west side of Chicago in a neighborhood now known as the West Ukrainian Village. Philomena's living relatives believe that the loss of her husband in Italy made her bitter and reliant on her children, a sentiment supported by records. In his World War I draft card, Henry is her son. He stated that Philomena relied entirely on him for financial support. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I know. Not ideal. On or around her 29th birthday in 1920, Julia married Matthew Petta at Holy Rosary, a church that still stands on Western Avenue in Chicago. I looked it up. It does. It is still there.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Another place we gotta go.
I know. One commonly told story is that she died a virgin on her wedding night, but that's clearly incorrect because her death certificate establishes that she died due to complications during childbirth on March 17, 1921, almost exactly 9 months after what was obviously an eventful wedding night.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. According to Italian tradition, women who die during childbirth are considered martyrs, so Julia was laid to rest in white, the color of martyrs. Her wedding dress was repurposed as her burial attire, and she was interred with her deceased infant, Filippo, cradled in her arms in a shared coffin at Mount Carmel Cemetery 2 days after her death.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So sad. Julia's mother, Filomena Buccola, was obviously devastated by her daughter's passing. After Julia was buried, Filomena experienced unsettling dreams every night for 6 years. In these dreams, Julia said she was still alive and needed help. Julia demanded that her grave be opened, and after a 6-year struggle for permission to disinter the body, Julia was exhumed. When they opened the coffin in 1927, Julia's body looked fresh, as if she were asleep. Like she was just buried yesterday. I shit you not. Her body showed no signs of decay. Her flesh remained soft, and people claimed her cheeks were still rosy red, as if she were still alive. A photograph was taken during the exhumation, and it captured Julia's incorruptible state. That's what they describe this as. So the photo shows a body that appears to be fresh, with no signs of decay or discoloration of the skin, even after 6 years. And apparently there were skeptics who believed the photo was taken prior to her burial, but in the photo, you can see the weathered coffin and like the fresh soil behind it, like it was just dug up, and the absence of the baby reportedly buried with Julia. So that all points to its long burial. Like the baby decomposed, but she did not. Yeah. In one source I read that her arm that was holding the baby decomposed, but that wasn't clear. Like if that was the case, and you can't really tell from the photo.
That's so creepy.
Wild, huh? So, determined to honor her body, Filomena raised funds for an elaborate tombstone featuring a life-size sculpture of Julia on her wedding day. The monument prominently displayed the post-mortem photo of Julia along with the inscription, and I'm about to fuck this up because it's in Italian. It says, "Presa dopo 6 anni morta."
That was great.
Thank you so much.
I mean, that sounded good to me.
Thank you so much. Which translates to taken 6 years after death. So that was like the photo of her. After they dug her up, they put it on her grave, like on her monument. It's not a grave, it's a monument.
Yeah.
So they put it on her grave, and it even says underneath it, taken 6 years after death. So despite the decayed appearance of the coffin, Julia's preserved body conveyed an impression of peaceful sleep, interpreted by her family as a divine sign. With contributions from relatives and neighbors, they erected the grand monument that now marks her resting place. So believe it or not, there are other cases of this preservation occurring, but it's pretty rare to see a photograph of one. and even more rare to see it on the actual tombstone for all to see.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so in the 1990s, a remarkably well-preserved body was discovered in Lincoln Park, the former site of the city cemetery, and encased in a Fisk metallic burial case, which was a popular iron casket with a viewing window over the face during the 1850s. So apparently, for a while, these caskets were all the rage. And my question is why? It literally looks like a sarcophagus. And the face is open so you could see. You could watch them decay. Apparently, it was all the rage for a while, and then people got really turned off by it. Because, yeah, it's, like, kind of creepy.
It's not chill.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Who's going to go visit that?
No, yeah, it's not great. So, and also they were being buried, too. So it's like, what's the
fucking
point of the window? But I think some people... I don't know if some people were, like, keeping them in their house. I don't think they were. But what is the purpose of the viewing window?
You know, I can kind of see, like, a spiritual thing of, like,
Sure.
keeping a window so the soul can see out or whatever. But if you're burying it...
You're putting dirt over the window.
So that's a view.
It's kind of rude. Yeah.
So
it's like
rude.
looking at a brick wall.
But that's the only thing I can remotely, like, put, like, a reason to it.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of sus. We'll put a picture of it.
It reminds me of, like, dolls.
I know, right?
Because, you know, when you get, like a porcelain doll or an American Girl doll, you can...
Yeah. It's kind of like that. It's like a cross between that and, like, a mummy, like a sarcophagus.
Yeah, because it's just, like, the
Exactly. Because that's, like, exactly how the iron case would look. We'll post pictures on our social media with a picture of a Fisk iron case. It's wild,
creepy.
man. It's wild. Another instance of this occurring was in the late 1980s. Developers excavated the grounds of Dunning Cemetery, the old potter's field where the city buried unclaimed bodies, to make space for upscale housing developments. Among the hundreds of bodies unearthed, at least one remained remarkably well preserved, even retaining discernible facial features such as distinctive mutton chops.
Oh.
Yeah. The mutton chop survived.
All right, long live the mutton chop.
Imagine this starts an awakening, a movement of mutton chops coming back into style.
Yep, you're welcome, everybody.
If a year from now, mutton chops come back in style, I will shit my pants. And then I'll start buying lottery tickets.
Yeah. Hasn't worked out for me yet.
Yeah, same. This is the turning point. Okay, we both got new jobs that start on the same day, okay?
Which is so crazy.
I know, we should go buy a lotto ticket now, in my opinion.
We should go to dinner to celebrate, too.
I
lotto
know.
ticket, dinner, and we record.
Yes, let's do it next week.
What is it? Yeah.
Yeah, next time we record.
Well,
or the next time we record. Okay, and one more instance of this. Additionally, good old Abe Lincoln was heavily embalmed upon his death, and he still appeared intact after several decades, albeit with a distinctive copper hue to his face. Insert penny joke here.
Oh my God, that was literally like, really?
Yeah. It was really
I didn't
creepy.
know that he was in... Wait, okay,
I feel
this might be stupid. Are all bodies embalmed?
I don't know. I'm gonna keep 100. I don't know. I think...
Like if you're buried?
If you're being buried, most bodies go through the embalming process. Maybe unless you specifically, like your family specifically declines for some reason. Maybe it's like there's like I bet in some, because not everywhere does it in the world. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I can't imagine in Africa they're embalming bodies. I don't know that though, and I could sound like a big moron after the fact. So if that is in fact true, well, I am saying now I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just imagining based on the resources available to other countries.
I think you're fine. I don't think that was disrespectful because I just don't know. And when you hear like Abraham Lincoln was embalmed so well, to where he was like embalmed. Yeah, that seems so surprising to me.
I think
he
was in like a glass case too.
Shut up!
I saw a picture
of
what looked like Abraham Lincoln in a glass case.
Okay, all I can think about is Snow White.
I know, right? Yeah, I didn't think about
That's
that. But
so weird.
You're a Disney adult, so that makes sense.
I'm like, all I can see is Abe Lincoln, but like dressed as Snow White.
Yeah,
in a glass coffin.
If I find a photo of Abraham Lincoln looking like a fuck ass penny in a glass box, I will post it on our social media with this episode link.
I didn't know about these bodies.
I know, right?
I'm gonna look this up.
I know. But anyways, so why does this happen? It depends on who you ask. Catholics refer to these corpses as incorruptible and view their condition as a sign of holiness. There are also apparently a group of people in Chicago who believe that Julia should be canonized as a saint, like because of this. It's like a divine thing. Yeah.
I kind of agree with this.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
But hold on.
Wait,
hold on to that
why?
for a minute. Unfortunately for them, though, there are actually scientific explanations for well-preserved corpses. The most common attributes the preservation to adipocere. Adipocere, ADIPOCERE.
I'm gonna
Also
need a
known
dictionary.
as corpse wax.
Ew.
Also known as grave wax. There's just
Ew.
other names for it. Yeah. Just wait. Adipocere is a waxy substance consisting chiefly of fatty acids and calcium soaps that is formed during the decomposition of dead body fat in moist or wet anaerobic conditions. One source I read described it as a condition in which the body retains its shape in the form of what is described as corpse cheese.
Ew. Oh my god. Burn me up. I don't want to.
Yeah. You don't want to.
I don't want to be corpse cheese.
Yeah, you're going to be corpse cheese. I'm so sorry. So in other less gross words, the shape and state of her body was preserved by a natural process. I could have just said that, but I felt like I needed to go into the corpse cheese thing.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're so welcome. You're never going to look at cheese the same.
I
wonder what kind of cheese.
I'll probably still eat
like
it.
Cottage cheese?
Ew. See, I don't like cottage cheese.
Great. So the
That's
corpse cheese
fine.
is cottage cheese in nature.
Yeah,
I
but if
am
it was
not
like
sorry if you like cottage cheese.
Munster,
It's disgusting.
pepper jack, I'd have a problem.
Yeah. If you like cottage cheese, I'm not sorry. That's shit's disgusting.
Nasty.
Yeah.
I don't care how much protein you need.
Yeah. So naturally, these explanations, scientific explanations, did little to dispel the local belief that Julia's preserved body was evidence of a miracle. But was it really? Rumors began to emerge about Julia's mother, Philomena, casting doubt on the authenticity of her dreams. Some suggested she concocted the entire narrative as retribution for a marriage she disapproved of. According to these accounts, Philomena was not down with Matthew Petta, Julia's husband, a sentiment seemingly supported by the absence of Julia's married name on the grave monument. Only Buccola is listed. In addition, Philomena's own full name appears on the monument twice, which is made even more ironic by the fact that her own grave is just an unmarked space just a few feet from Julia's. It doesn't have her name anywhere, but it's on Julia's twice.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I'll read you what it says in a minute. Others speculate that Philomena might have fabricated the dreams to persuade her son, Henry, to agree to the costly exhumation and reburial. This could have been motivated by her intense grief or a desire to honor her daughter in a more elaborate manner. The monument to Julia was financed by her brother in 1927, reportedly costing around $10,000. Which adjusted for inflation comes out to a whopping $175,116.09.
Oh my god.
A gravestone. It's a fucking monument, but like.
Oh my god. But I mean, okay. Say what you will about Philomena. I mean, that body was kind of freaky though.
But if she was using those dreams to hustle her kids, like, I mean,
at least
I guess
it
it
paid
worked.
out. I mean,
Shit,
it
worked.
paid off. Like,
yeah.
So that's why that's hard for me to say. Like, bitch was crazy, cause like.
Yeah, but later on, I guess this did cause a lot of tension between Henry and his wife and her mother. And Henry did say later on that if he had the amount of money he spent on that, his family would have been set up a little better. Like, he would have been in a better spot financially with his family. So he did kind of regret it, or he kind of wished that he didn't have to spend all that fucking money on a fucking stone. Dude. Which I get. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like.
Burn me.
Like, don't, just like I said, just put me in a field. I don't care.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't some cemeteries where you have to like kind of pay, like technically like rent on your
I don't
spot?
know. I've never heard that, but I can see some places charging you.
And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that for me.
Don't do that.
Just
look into the sky.
Yeah, when you
see
see
my
a
spirit.
cheeseburger,
exactly.
think of me.
When you hear Taylor Swift, think of me.
Yeah, I mean everyone already does. So
yeah, exactly. I have tortured everybody. So the grave marker features a small photograph of her in her wedding dress and a life-size statue of her based on that photograph. Below the statue reads, Philomena Buccola, remembrance of my beloved daughter Julia, age 29 years old. And I only said it like that because it was written in all caps and I just felt like it had to be yelled. That's how I read it in my brain. But yeah, Philomena Buccola, remembrance of my beloved daughter Julia, age 29 years old. Below this inscription is the photo taken of Julia immediately after her coffin was dug up and opened 6 years after her death. The back of the monument states in Italian, Philomena Buccola, I offer this gift to my dear daughter Julia, age 29 years. That's what it says.
What? And what's crazy is she only just calls her daughter Julia.
I know, and she's Philomena Buccola. And Petta ain't nowhere on that, like her married name.
That's a little.
She's throwing shade for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she seems like a narcissistic parent.
Yeah. She seems like, yeah, she had issues.
For real.
Yeah.
But still, that body was preserved,
Exactly,
though,
right?
so, like, I can't be too mad at her.
However, even if Philomena lied about her nightmares to gain sympathy and help finance the elaborate monument, it still doesn't explain how, when she dug her up, she was appearing as though she was still alive.
Yeah.
It worked. The photo appeared, because there's no way, even if she made it up, there's no way she could have known when we dug her up that she would look the way she did.
For real.
There's no way.
That's why part of me is like, I'm like, I don't care if she was crazy or a narcissistic parent. I don't care because look at what we got.
Yeah. So the photo appears to be real and has defied explanation for nearly a century. But that's not the end of this odd story, because this is a paranormal podcast. So we gotta talk about the ghosty shit. Over the years, numerous reports have surfaced of a ghostly woman in white wandering near Julia Petta's grave at the edge of the cemetery. Witnesses have claimed to see her both during the day and at night, and many believe this apparition to be Julia's restless spirit. Julia's grave is located near the entrance of the cemetery and has become a focal point of these sightings, with passing motorists also reporting glimpses of the figure at night.
Ooh.
One particularly eerie tale involves a young boy who was accidentally left behind at the cemetery. When his family returned to find him, they saw him holding hands with a dark-haired young woman in a white dress. As the boy ran towards his parents, the woman vanished. Yeah.
Oh, that's sad, because she probably latched on to him because he was a kiddo. Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
It's sad and like sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the strange story of the Italian bride, Julia Buccola Petta.
Julia.
Philomena Buccola. Oh. I offer this gift to my dear daughter, Julia. That's like the only way I could read it in my head.
Do we know what happened to what's Philomena? Did
she died I think in the 40s.
Okay.
I think I don't remember how she passed, but she passed away in the 40s, and yeah.
That's wild. I'm so interested in these bodies that are fully preserved, because like you hear mummies and stuff, but like you don't hear that with just normal ass.
I know, just normal people. Like, what about it?
Yeah.
I wonder how we will be when we're dug up after 6 years, because we've had decades of
plastic surgery.
Not plastic surgery. Maybe, actually. I mean, we haven't started yet.
It depends on if I win the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. No, after we've had all of the what is the word? Fuck, next time I'm taking my Adderall before we do this. The word for the things that makes the food last longer.
Oh, preservatives?
Preservatives. After we've had a substantial amount of preservatives compared 100%. To them.
Also, terrible news. If you don't eat normal noodles, we have been eating like these chickpea noodles, Bonza ones. And
Bonza's great.
Apparently they have this high level of some toxic thing in there. I can't remember what it's called, but I mean, people are like, this is really bad. Like, it's like a toxic level, and I can't remember. It starts with a G.
What?
Yeah, look it up. Look it up.
What? In the Bonza? Is it just specifically in Bonza or like chickpea?
Bonza.
Bonza noodles. Toxic. I just wrote TOXXI, but they figured it out.
Gamelli.
Glyphosate. It's a weed killer.
Yeah.
It's pesticide filled. Wow, this is like last 4 days.
I saw it on TikTok.
Anyone else personally victimized by Bonza pasta?
We were eating it like
wait, that was 2022.
week.
Never mind. That's crazy. What happens? What happens if you eat it?
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably nothing great.
Toxic levels of glyphosate, pesticides, low mineral count, and even gluten found in gluten-free products. Are you guys gluten-free? Or
no,
you just like it just to
we just liked it because it was like a healthier alternative, and like sometimes gluten will upset Steven's stomach.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm like, what the hell are we supposed to do?
Yeah. Just gotta eat normal noodles.
Can't eat
like
nothing.
The peasants.
Can't eat nothing.
You have to suck it up. Suck it up with the gluten.
Toot it away.
Oh my gosh. That's, the highest level of glyphosate, 2,963 parts per billion found in Bonza chickpea pasta is the highest amount ever measured in human food by the lab.
Yes.
All right, well, here's your PSA.
Yes, don't get Bonza.
But it is, what day is it?
Steven, have you been listening? Oh my gosh. I almost didn't tell you because I knew that, like, you'd be so anti-Bonza, but
gosh,
it's really bad. Know. It's really bad. It's a weed killer.
Wow.
Highest level ever found in like some human food.
That's crazy.
I've been feeding this bitch Bonza noodles.
Wow. You've been trying to kill him? He's trying to poison you. Did you know that?
for months.
How much is your life insurance policy?
I don't even. Probably just his salary.
Just enough to
get by.
Yeah, you ain't getting a monument, that's for damn sure.
No.
Not in this economy.
No, you're not even getting a headstone.
No.
God, that headstone was like $150,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Insane.
Can you imagine?
No.
That's like, if you're going to spend that kind of money today, it better be like a waterproof screen, and it's going to show Real Housewives for me the whole time.
Or just like my stream of consciousness.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Lord help anyone who sees my stream of consciousness.
I think mine would give anyone an anxiety attack.
Yeah, right? Like, I would have to give like a warning for epileptics. Is it just like flitting
It
by?
just, yeah. And it's like 10,000 things per second.
Yeah.
And you're like, how'd you get here? Well, I thought of this, and then I thought of this, and then I thought of this.
I can tell you how I got here.
Yeah.
I
but
can
it's
tell you how I
gonna
got to
freak
this
you
spot.
out.
Yeah. But you don't want to know the path we took. It's going to be weird. But I can tell you every single step that was made to get to this point.
I've done that before with Steven. We were in the car. He asked me, what are you thinking about? I told him, he goes, how'd you get there? And I go, took a deep breath. I said, well, I was thinking about this. And then I thought about this. And then I thought this. And then I got here. And now we're here. And he was like, is that normal for you? And I go, yes.
Normal for everyone. Yeah, don't make her feel weird.
This man
The look on his face.
can legit think of nothing. He can
just sit there and
nothing's going through his brain.
Is that true?
And I told him, if I were to I have to actively try to think of nothing. And when I do, I imagine a white, windowless, doorless room.
Okay.
But that's the thing, is like I'm still actively thinking and imagining.
Yeah.
But my nothing, like I have to visualize nothing.
I get anxious because I can't visualize nothing. I'm like, okay, am I nothing? I'm trying to think of nothing. And then I start getting really anxious because I'm like, I'm still thinking of things.
Yeah. Well, or you start
things.
thinking about like your breaking. And you're like, oh my God, I've never breathed normal in my day in my life.
I know I feel short of breath.
And now I think I'm having a heart attack.
It's just the trail, the stream of consciousness just keeps on going.
Put me in room 525.
It's like a fucking river rapids, just continuing over the Niagara Falls. I swear to God. Yeah, we're gonna go to 525. I'm actually going to Chicago in a couple weeks to visit my friend who lives here but is in Chicago.
Okay.
Don't ask why. It's
I
I
get
only
it.
see her in
I
other
follow.
states. We're not allowed to hang out, even though we live 10 miles from each other. But I told them we're going.
Perfect.
Because it's kind of on the way to where they live. They said no, but we're going.
Yeah.
So it'll be great.
So
I'll take a picture.
by.
I'll go look at the
lost.
picture. Yeah.
You know?
Be like, oh no. I like
Yeah.
sneezed and now we're at the cemetery.
Yeah. Oops.
It's fine. But
You
yeah,
have
I mean, it's
to
like
go see it. You have to go see it.
We're right there. Yeah. I'm like, it'll be a detour out of the way. But like, you can go see, who was that dude I said? That one mob boss guy.
Al Capone.
Al Capone.
And...
It's like it's gotta be famous.
Yeah. And the other guy I've never heard of.
Yeah. They're going to listen to this later. Hopefully, if they're real friends, they'll listen to this and they'll be like, yeah, we never went to that cemetery.
You totally should just to see
definitely.
this. That's
I want to.
Now I want to go
cool.
just to see. I'm so interested. I'm going to do a bunch of research on these bodies that have
on the corpse
been
cheese
preserved.
specifically. You're just going to Google corpse cheese.
I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Is it weird that I did that? Yeah, about that. Don't Google it.
Okay. Did
Actually,
you really?
I really didn't, but I'm going to right now. No. Anyways, okay. That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was our second episode.
Second episode.
Fucking did it.
We did.
We're going to do it again. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed hanging out with us, please, please, please follow, subscribe to this podcast, and rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, and we want to start telling real life ghost stories.
Yes.
So please share your ghost stories with us at our email.
inmyhauntederapod@gmail.com.
In my haunted era. What is it?
Pod.
inmyhauntederapod@gmail.com.
inmyhauntederapod@gmail.com. There will be links. Please email us your scary stories. Ask your family for their scary stories. Email them to us. We will read them on air.
Yeah.
This is an air.
We'll read them on our podcast.
We're on air. We're going to read them on our podcast. Follow, subscribe to this podcast. Rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Send us the stories.
Yeah, send us your scary stories.
Follow us on our socials.
Yeah, come on, be a part of the community.
Yeah. We're in my haunted era on everything. Instagram.
I'm going to make a TikTok.
We're going to make a TikTok.
I just want it to be cool.
But yeah, as a new podcast, the feedback is so helpful and we appreciate it. So please leave us reviews and tell us how we're doing and what you want to see or hear. Here, obviously.
Yeah.
This is a verbal medium.
Let us know spooky stories you're interested in.
Yes.
As well as your own spooky stories.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll
We'll
haunt you later.